What is up, dudes and dudettes? This is Due Diligence here, and let's talk about SPRT. I know. Right now, SPRT just get merged into GREE, and the stock price isn't looking that great. But let's address the elephant in the room about SPRT. What exactly did we do with the prediction, right? Some of you are saying, oh, those guys definitely short sell. Some of you are like, yeah, they probably did. Put options on that. And for those of you who said we did put options on that, good for you. I mean, number two and I were gonna buy more put options when it's at around $59 when people are laughing at me because my price prediction's at $60. I mean, it's bloody like, I don't know, 30 cents off, boys and girls. But we were predicting that the stock price is gonna go back to $11.5 by October 27th. If merger finalization date is late October, and even if that's not true, we probably will see it going back to about $12 by the end of next option expiration. And guess what? This is a proof from previous videos. In case those of you who didn't watch the video, what did this say? It says 11.5 October 27th, and this is a screenshot directly from YouTube. When it's around $26. Yeah, we put this video on like the second day after it reaches $60. I think it is what it is. But yeah, it was really magical day on that day because we saw like a huge potential on the short selling side of this. But because our account limitation and the fact that like one of the things you guys don't really think about or talk about is when you take on a actual short selling position, there's actually collateral, and if you don't have like a lot of collateral, you literally is risking a lot of your cash money, right? Essentially, you tied up those cash money inside of the market. It's the same thing as like holding a stock, right? You hold it and you sell it at a higher point. This is why we like options way better than holding stocks. We hold stocks on Patreon. We posted a video very early August. It's still available. You can go look at it if you decide to sub later on. It's talking about the logic or the philosophy behind why would you hold a stock. And by the end of next week, we're going to post another thing on Patreon about when would you sell a stock. That's actually one of the most important things that we should be sort of addressing in a border and in a very detailed spectrum, right? But anyways, let's go back down to SPRT. So our price prediction is at $11.5. So what we did is what I did, because the time I texted number two, everything was way too expensive on a premium, so he didn't engage in this. But I bought one contract. I bought a $12 put on one contract on that day. And then basically my earnings are capped because only when the stock go down under $12, my sort of potential upside for buying that put will increase dramatically. When it's around $30 or $40 when you buy that $12 put, you're literally basically buying on a sort of like an IV reversal sort of play. You are basically betting that the upward implied volatility would transition to a downward sort of trend, and that put option sort of started like really printing on around last Wednesday, extending to Thursday, then Friday. It sort of matches my sort of price prediction, and I closed my position. But how much money did we really make? We made about $600 on that one contract, but again, like you have to pay a lot of premium to secure that $600. Not even a 100% sort of gain. If I will show you guys. Okay, it's not even a $100 gain. So if you go to SPRT option chain, I think right now it's like delisted, but yeah, if you go like at the SPRT option chain, you will see that on the 24th, if we go and look at the strike price, the $12 put, we have the $12 put. So on the 24th, it's like it's this, but technically speaking, it's actually around $400. Wait a second, what was the thing? We can't access the price before, but this is way higher than the premium is actually way higher than this because right now it's around 1108. We probably make around $600 ish. But we probably should go back to another website that I have. You can check the historical price for this. But yeah, the stocks are pretty much dead right now. So yeah, and we bought this pretty early, so we made pretty much good money on that. I think it's $562. I'm not even sure, but the same logic applies. A lot of you guys are asking me like, why would you say when you're buying puts it's not really on short selling per se? Because here's the reason. Okay, short selling, if you short sell it at $60, or in this case it's $50, you short sell it at $60, and then you sort of covered your short position around $12, you made $38 per share, right? But when you buy a $12 put, that's controlling 100 shares of the stock by the end of whenever expiration or whenever you decide to dump it. What we made is around $600. Let's just say it's 600. Technically, it's like 500-ish or something like that. 600 for 100 shares. So every share you make $6. But if you actually directly shorted it, you actually short selling it, then every share you will make $38. You see? You see the difference? This is a huge difference here. Okay? This is why we always say that if you really want to make money shorting, you should not buy puts. You should actually start short selling it. But at the same time, you're basically exposing yourself to a higher risk, because every share you go down by $1, you do make $1. But every share it go up by $1, you actually not only lose that $1, you also have to pay the interest for borrowing that share, if that makes sense. But when you are buying a put, you sort of have an upfront cost. Let's say the upfront cost is about $100 upfront cost. This is the maximum of money you can lose. Like if it just go up like skyrocket to, I don't know, like $100, you still lose only that $100. This is why we didn't get the, when it's at 50, we didn't get the $40 puts, because $40 puts really cost you like over $1,500 or even more than that. We picked a relatively cheap option that's within our price range that, by the end of the option expiration, we believe that it's gonna be out of the money. It's gonna be in the money for puts, right? Out of money for the calls. Actually, I think I showed you guys the wrong thing, because we bought a monthly option, so I think the 15th is what it is. You see? Yeah. It was higher than this number. So yeah. We made about 562-ish, I think. 562? Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. All right, this is it for SPRT. It's sort of like it's basically concluded already, because right now it's now traded as GREE. So we don't really want to get entangled with another MMT wannabe anymore, because this company actually have with anything with Bitcoin kind of have like a softly, vaguely uncertainty within it before September 24th, and so therefore maybe after September 24th we might consider going back and look at GREE. But in general, on this company's vertical, I don't really know a lot of things about it, and we only intend to invest in stock that we hold a edge on, sort of like better than other people. We know a little bit more about the stock more than other people. All right, see you guys on the upside. Hopefully you guys made money this week.